She is 52, standing at that strange threshold where a woman begins to realize she has given her life away in tiny, uncounted offerings. Her name is not important at first because for half her life she has been someone's something, someone's mother, someone's wife, someone's dependable presence in the kitchen, the festivals, the illnesses, the emergencies. Her sons, 123, 116, move through the house like visitors who forgot they once lived inside her body. They speak with affection, yes, but always in a hurry, always with one foot in another world. And her husband? A man of rough edges and practiced indifference, who long ago learned to occupy space without noticing who made that space livable. She has friends too, a scattering of women who meet her for tea, who talk of doctors and discounts and the misery of maids. They love her in the way people love a reliable wall, always there, always sturdy, seldom acknowledged. But in the quiet hours, when she sits with her evening tea and the sun slips behind the neighbor's building, she feels a dull emptiness. What is her place? What remains of her beyond what she gives? Her struggle to be important. The world does not fight her. That would have been easier. The world simply forgets her. Her youngest son leaves his socks on the floor and calls out her name as casually as calling out for Wi Fi. Her eldest only speaks to her when he needs life advice dressed as a lecture. Her husband asks for ginger tea in that tone which assumes she was born holding a kettle. She does not rebel. Tradition sits heavily on her shoulders. A woman, she believes, must not erupt. She must endure. But endurance has its own erosion. Her voice becomes softer. Her needs become shy. Her desires become guilty visitors she hides even from herself. She tries to keep up with the world. Instagram reels, new slang, recipes that promise 5 minutes but taste like heaven. But the boys laugh affectionately, like at an elderly aunt attempting skateboarding. She joins a yoga class, not to stretch her body, but to stretch her purpose. There, she learns words like self care and self worth. But once home, the old language of duty swallows them whole. When she shares her fears with a friend, the friend says, Arey, this happens to all women. You're thinking too much. As if a woman's unhappiness is a household appliance, common, expected, and unworthy of repair. Respect is not loud. It's the quiet dignity given to someone whose presence is valued. At the dinner table, her opinions are like background music, pleasant but easily ignored. When she speaks assertively, she's told she's too sharp. When she stays silent, others assume she agrees. The traditional woman in her seeks peace, but the new woman demands recognition. It's a civil war conducted in whispers. Her desperate desire to be loved is simple. Love is someone noticing her fatigue, asking how her day was, and genuinely caring. It's someone saying, Sit, I'll do this, just once. Why does the world teach women that asking for love is indecent? Why must she always be the uncomplaining flame lighting everyone's way, even as her own wick burns down? One afternoon, while sorting old saris, She finds a diary she wrote in her 20s. Dreams spill out, messy, idealistic, unapologetic. She wanted to learn classical singing. She wanted to travel alone. She wanted to write a book on the lives of ordinary women. She wanted to be somebody whose opinions were not just tolerated, they were sought. She closes the diary, and something in her, some soft but ancient bone, cracks into alignment. That evening, she does not ask what the family wants for dinner. She makes what she wants, a small act. But revolutions often begin with small acts performed without apology. She joins a music class. She sets boundaries. Awkwardly at first, firmly later. She tells her sons, I am busy right now, you do it. She tells her husband, respect is not optional. She tells her friends, I am not thinking too much. I am thinking finally. Over time, the house begins to change. At first, slowly and hesitantly. Then, with growing respect, her sons start to see her not just as a resource but as a person, a woman with a mind, a voice, a past, and a future. Her husband, confused and surprised, begins to ask questions instead of giving commands. He notices the sparkle in her eyes when she hums a new raga she's learned. Standing at her door, he asks, do you need help with anything? It's not romance, but it's acknowledgement. And for her, that acknowledgement feels like rain after a long drought. She doesn't seek fame or aim to change the world. Instead, she transforms herself, and that is her greatest victory. She becomes meaningful, not by demanding recognition, but by embodying her worth. She becomes relatable because she finally connects with herself. She becomes respected by honoring her own boundaries. She becomes loved by offering love genuinely, not endlessly, invisibly. A woman in her 50s stands in her doorway, no longer waiting for permission or begging for attention, but stepping boldly into the world, her name stitched into her soul. And the world, surprised, gently moves aside to let her pass.